day here in Missouri. We haven't done a video lately, so I figured we could do a garden tour. Let's go. Okay, so the garden is kind of just like a wild garden. We have a lot of wild flowers here. These I didn't plant, but they kind of just grow along our fence line, and I think they're pretty, so I decided to keep them. And over to the side here, there's just a bunch of wildflowers, and I just think it looks very cool. We have a lot of bee activity, hummingbirds. We have some mullein growing on the outside of the fence and also inside of the fence. And I just think that it's just so pretty, so I just kind of let it go wild. Okay, so along this trellis here, we have tomatoes growing on this side. And on this side we have tomato, then cucumbers, and then tomatoes again. And I'm kind of like overwhelmed with the tomatoes and cucumbers because they've done so well this year that I probably should come in here and pick them again. We have some apricot zebras on this side and a lot of cucumbers actually that need to be picked. We've been getting a lot of rain here in Missouri, so everything is kind of just flourishing in the garden. Okay, on this side, pretty much we just have zinnias growing, and they kind of have taken over. We had zucchini plants planted, but the squash bugs unfortunately took them out again. I kind of have troubles with that every year with the bugs, but I just pulled them out. And then we also have tomato plants that have came up, I guess from tomatoes last year. I did not plant this, and I didn't have a trellis or anything for it, so it's just kind of wild here and not staked up. We have some purple bumblebees over here growing nicely. I came through the other day and pruned some of the tomatoes up because they were kind of just bushing out and falling over. I didn't get to get them perfectly because they were so overgrown, but I still feel like the tomatoes are doing actually very well despite being bushy and having leaves all on the bottom for so long. But some of them aren't really perfect, like this one is kind of overgrown, so I kind of just tie it up and just hope for the best.
So I found this in the sand by the pool, and it's a baby toad. I just catched it, and yeah.
You found a baby toad? Let me see. See it. Yep. On this side of the garden, it's kind of just overgrown now. There's not much walk space, so you kind of just have to jump and hop over everything to find what you're looking for. But on the side, we have marigolds growing. We also have some basil on the side. And we have flowers that have popped up. Some peppers growing down here. And some mini bell peppers over here. Over here we have some pepperoncinis growing pretty nice. And then right behind them, we have some jalapenos. Okay. So behind the peppers, we have some cantaloupe growing, and they're doing so well this year. So we have a bunch about right. The only problem I had was from them setting on the mulch. They have a few bad spots in some of them. So hopefully they'll still be okay to eat. But we have like just tons this way, and then we have some over here. But they seem to do pretty well. And right behind the cantaloupe, we have 3 trellises here. I call this my youngest son's garden because he loves anything vegetable. I planted some green beans on the trellis, but the Japanese beetles, as you can see, have just had a buffet on them. And I put up traps, but they're still like heavily in here. So yeah, I'm kind of upset about that. But right beside that, we have little spoon tomatoes. Now these kind of grew very, very bushy and very big, but they're doing well. And my youngest son will just come in here and pick off any that he sees red and goes to town on them. He loves them. Okay, in the back part of the garden, we have our watermelon plants. We have about 3 plants, I believe. And we're getting we have like 6 or so watermelon in here. This one is almost ready, and I cannot wait to cut it open. Our kids love watermelon, and usually we have like bad luck with them not growing. We'll get like 1 or 2 and they don't look right, but this year they're doing great. I'm not sure if it's the cardboard we put down and then we put mulch over top of it. And every fall we will put like chicken manure in or rabbit manure, and I've been using a fish fertilizer on them, so I just feel like all that together has just made the garden do amazing this year. The last part of the garden, we have our corn growing, and it seems to be doing well. There's a lot of bees on this. Like every day we come out here and it's just flooded with bees. And I think we're starting to get a little bit of corn growing on these ones. We didn't plant this last row. We waited 2 weeks after we planted the first part, and then we did some more just so it doesn't have to be harvested all at the same time. We also had some sunflowers growing. I just cut some for a bouquet in the house. And there's one more that looks like it's ready. I have a couple more behind here, but they're not quite ready yet. But I just love how they look, and I think I'll plant them again next year. I don't know if this is the same one or not, but I see lizards all the time in the garden. I have 2 raised beds in front of my house. Now don't laugh, but they're completely a weeded mess. I don't really mess with them much. I kind of just let stuff grow. We have some Amish paste tomatoes growing in this one, and it's a little wild, but I've been getting a few, and they're pretty decent size. But I think with like how much rain we've been getting, they've been kind of cracking as they grow. So they're not the prettiest, but you can still eat them. And then over here, I haven't done much with this. We had carrots planted and onions, and we got a lot of carrots and onions out of this bed. They grew amazing. I planted some bush beans in here after I pulled those out, and it's just a weeded mess. I tried to come in here the other day and clear some of it out, but there's just so much to keep up with. I kind of just might let it grow and see what happens. So thanks for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. We will start trying to film more, so I hope you stay tuned.